didn't even realize that he was so angry. Apparently later it came out that like, okay, so like these were his enemies and he didn't want to see that happen for them. And I can understand how like if you work really hard for something and you don't, and you're walking a straight path and somebody's not, then and you're like, they can't get what I get because I've been working so hard. It's like that's not up for you to decide. Just focus on your own path. Mm-hmm. And people who do things like they have to go do their own things. And everybody's not the same, so you just gotta focus on your own. But one of the things that I realized is that when he was running in the beginning, it's so funny because you can run away from God all you want. You can run away from God's instruction, and we all have reasons to do so. Like I didn't want to do this channel for a long time because I was like, I don't want to get judged. I don't want people to hold me in the highest standard. Like, I cuss. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I drink. Like I'm not a pastor. Like I don't know everything about the Bible. Like I don't know if I really want to do this. But I ran away from it for a little bit. But then it's just like, okay, just go ahead and do it because God's telling you to do it. Yeah. You don't have to be whatever you think. So I was like, we have so many reasons to be Jonah. And Jonah is really all of us in some aspect. Because look at the story that was told. Now, this past week, I was listening to this really amazing story of this lady, and it was so many like ups and downs, dips and dives, and like I was just thinking after we read the story of Jonah how unbelievable it would be, and if somebody were to come up to you and tell you like, hey, where you been for the past few days? Man, a big fish swallowed me and then it spit me back up. It's just like, yeah, okay. But it's like God will do that to you for whatever reason, like, but it's his relationship with you. It's your relationship with him. And no matter what you do to try to release yourself from God's instructions, you're going to find yourself right back there after having to go through some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? He got swallowed by a whole fish. That's wild.
That's crazy.
So anyway, we're getting ready to get into these questions.
Yeah. That was pretty nice.
Keep on.
Okay. So the questions, Jonah was acting out of prejudice and Jonah was acting out of prejudice towards the people of Nineveh. How did God feel about his snobbery?
God was not pleased with his snobbery. It's like, just like you just described, God was like, That's not charged. Okay, well, listen. We've got a plan B, guys. Here we go. Wait. There we go. Hopefully the sound is back.
Yeah.
I think the sound is back.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was only out for a couple minutes. Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much for that comment.
Maybe
our microphones need to be charged.
Probably, yeah.
I charged those. I just didn't charge the other piece. Yeah. Anyway, listen, everybody.
Okay.
We're amateurs. Yeah. Thank you so much for sticking with us. But basically what I was saying is that God didn't like Jonah's snobbery because he was trying to tell him that I'm gonna forgive you just like I forgive them. Like everybody's open for this forgiveness. Everybody's open for God's love. Everybody deserves it. Yeah. So, you ain't, you know what I mean? Yeah. You gotta be with it. If everybody's available to repent and be forgiven, like you can't be mad when somebody gets forgiven. Yeah, it doesn't work. You can't get you don't get to choose. God is in control. Yeah,
I think that God was probably not shocked at his snobbery, but he was like, wait a minute, wait, time out. Let's back up. You're angry that I forgave people who were sinning against me. I get it. I get you. But you cannot be angry because you can't be angry because I forgave you. I forgive all who ask for it. You have forgotten my covenant. Love your enemies. And I think the reason that he did the example of the tree was you're exactly right. He gets the tree, he gives you shade, and then he takes the tree away and he's like, hey, listen, just because I understand why you're angry, but just because you're angry there's no value for your anger because that's not love. This is not what I'm about. I took the vine away. I brought it and took it away. That's just how life is. You're supposed to love your enemies. It's hard. We talked about that last week. It's very difficult to do.
It brings up another example for me in real life. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, have you ever had, this hasn't happened to me recently, but it has happened to me in the past. Have you ever had like a bill collector, somebody call you like, hey, your bill's late, right? And you're like, yeah, I got you next check or whatever. And they're so angry and they're like, but you owe this money. And they want to say things to you that are like borderline disrespectful. It's like, yeah, I know I owe and I'm going to pay it. And you don't have to worry about that. Like, are you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, who would you owe? Are you Samsung? Are you Verizon? Do you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you Verizon? Like, chill. Verizon know they're gonna get their money. Why are you so mad? It kind of reminds me of that. It's like, okay, chill. Like, I have an agreement here. It's gonna all be fine. It's gonna all work out. I know what I'm doing. You don't need to come and be so disrespectful or angry to me, like, because of whatever. It also reminds me of Karen behavior, where it's just like, you can't park here. It's just like, lady, this isn't your parking lot. I'm not bothering you.
I'm not bothering you.
Know what I'm saying? I'll be seeing those Karen clips.
Yeah, I'm not.
But anyway, not to put anybody out there. I'm just saying, like, those are two modern day examples that remind me of like people hating on what doesn't have anything to do with them beyond their, like, if you want to come and say, hey, you can't park there because they tow around here.